Welcome to Biker Protocol. My name is Hollywood with Black Patch MC, and I've got.
I am Picasso with the Eagle Riders MC.
So we have a comment. Why don't you read it? You got the paper over there.
Yeah.
From one of our viewers, and yeah, go ahead.
It's a little bit of a long comment, and so I'm going to kind of paraphrase this a little bit. Basically, and this is from Epic Life Enthusiast.
I always love the names. I just like road names. I wonder
It's
what
great.
the story is behind
I'm
it.
sure there's something, yeah. With a name like that, I'm sure there is. But anyways, he was saying, I'm paraphrasing a little bit. He was riding up in Canada, and a 1% club passed by, notified him by hand signals that his saddlebag fell off because of a bump that he hit. He says, I want to appreciate it. I know where their clubhouse is located, and I want to know, how do I show my thanks? By buying a pizza, giving them some alcohol. How do I approach them without going to their clubhouse, knowing that I would need to be invited to go there? It's a great question.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets into, we did a video very recently about what the do's and don'ts are when you go to clubhouses, like during parties and whatnot, and events. And that was a really good video too. But we'll post a little thing up in the top there about that. But it kind of follows up with that, right? So how do you approach a clubhouse with a club and you don't know who they are?
Well, number one, don't just show up at their door and knock on the door. They don't know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
No soliciting sign, I'm sure.
Right.
A lot of the clubhouses you can't even get that close to the door. But yeah, I'd say that'd be the first thing. So you'd probably want to find someone that knows them, right?
Yeah. So that would be my first step.
Yeah.
And I don't want to single them out, but this is a club that's a pretty big 1% club.
Yeah.
So they're going to have somebody that knows them. So if you ride in the community, maybe ask a couple questions. Say, hey, listen, I'm trying to hook up with these guys. But be careful what you do with that, because that could also be, who knows? They don't know your intentions, right?
Yeah.
And so you start snooping around and asking questions.
Someone might be snooping for you,
Yeah. They don't know how to perceive that. Yeah. So maybe just look for them at a at an event or a party. See if they hang around anything, or even just drop them a little thing in the mailbox. Just say, hey, I'd love to be able to take care, and explain it. That's how I would first do it. If they're a house or at any kind of location, slip something under the door, something in the mailbox, and just say, hey, you guys really helped me out. I really appreciate it. And, put your road name, maybe a phone number, an email address in there, and just say, hey, listen, I'd love to buy you guys a bunch of beer or something.
Oh, and I think in a lot of cases they'd be very, very open to that. And,
I would be.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
And that kind of goes on with goes towards how do you get a hold of someone, if like a club that you've come across without showing up to their door, knocking on the door. And like we were saying, is find someone in the community to reach out to that might know them, or an event, maybe you see them there and you just go about the protocol of going up to someone and asking them, hey, so and so, whatever, tell the story.
Yeah, and a lot of times there's a lot of clubs, no other clubs. So like, for example, there's a lot of clubs here in Vegas, a ton of them, right? And as much as I'd like to know a lot of them, and I know the majority of the larger ones, not all, but I know most of them, but there are always clubs that I've never heard of, never met, because there's just so many of them, right? And there's a lot of, larger clubs, maybe 1% clubs that I've never interacted with. So if I had, let's say this same situation happened to me, right? And I wanted to get a hold of a club that was in a different part of the city, that was a 3-patch club or a 1% club, and I didn't know how to get a hold of them. I know somebody would. So, I would reach out to the COC. I'd reach out to maybe some other organization, right? Yeah. And say, hey, and most likely there's going to be another 1% club that does know who they are. So, if you reach out to some, like, let's say the COC, and you say, hey, listen, do you know anybody from that club? I just want to get a hold of them for something. It's nothing important, nothing major, but do you know how to contact for them? Asking a few people that way might help too.
And they're going to probably ask you why.
Right. And tell them.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a harmless story like this, I mean, they'd probably be like, yeah, here you go, or they'll pass you on to someone that could get you that information. Or I mean, I do like the idea of, like you said, just putting something, tag it on the gate or the mailbox, whatever. It just said, not spray paint, a note or something. And, it says, hey, tell the story. And that's how you.
Well, and another option too is see if they're on Facebook or Instagram, or because a lot of clubs are now, right? Yeah. We've done videos about this with social media, and like we are, I know you are. So, I would reach out, look and see if they're on Facebook or something, do a local search, find them. And if they are, send them a message through that. Somebody's going to run that page. So they may even have a website. And a lot of clubs do that too. So,
and then if you don't hear anything, I wouldn't take it as anything negative, but you did something, and I'm sure somebody heard it, but, they're not always going to, it's not, they're not going to just
don't be upset if it falls on deaf ears.
Yeah,
they may
pen
appreciate
pals or
it, but they
anything.
may not ever follow up with it. So yeah.
I mean, that's, I don't know what else you
I
can
don't know
say
what else
about
we can
it.
say
That's
about that.
pretty much it.
It's a really good question. I
Yeah.
want to do a video on it, and it's an important question because how do you really contact somebody at a clubhouse? You know, we've run into this before. We want to talk to a couple clubs, and how do you go just knock on the door or other? So you got to reach out some other way. So
you don't, because you generally you're not going into someone's clubhouse unless you're invited or it's a public event.
In some clubs houses will even have prospects there 24/7. So depending on how big they are or where they're at in the community, right? So you start showing up and hi, how you doing? Who knows how that's going to get interpreted, right? So
but that's commendable though. The viewer that wants to do that.
No, I think it's very cool.
Yeah,
it's very cool. So thanks for the question and thanks for doing what you're doing. I'm glad you turned out okay and you got your saddlebag.
Don't want to lose the saddlebag.
Don't do that. I almost had that happen once. I guess it might be a Tales from the Road video, but one of my saddlebags, the bolt that held it on came off, and it was essentially like hanging barely on the bike. And I don't know. I have an unbelievable amount of luck with people in our club. And one of the guys in our club just happened to buy these. They were $1 a piece. These crappy, I wouldn't even say they were ratchet straps. They're like little tie down straps. They weren't even bungee cords. And he happened to have a couple on his bike. And he's like, "Oh, I can take care of you." And he's strapping my saddlebag on. I was like, "Save me $1,000 for a new saddlebag."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've had my saddlebag lid fly open. And
everything dump out. Really? Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
You're doing 70 on the freeway. It's like a suction. Just
stuff goes out. Okay, now we're getting to another topic. But I have a trunk on my bike, right? So many times I forget to shut the lid, and I'm riding, and I hear this rattling. And I've never lost anything, but so many times it's rattling, and I can just reach back just enough to get it. And I was coming down traffic to the clubhouse actually recently, and I was trying to do it, and this woman's driving this car next to me, and I'm like, trying to reach back and close. This woman's looking at me like that was crazy.
That's funny.
So, but I did get it closed, so that was good.
But definitely. Get them a pizza, get them a beer, whatever you want to do. I think that's pretty cool.
It's very commendable. So if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to this channel. You can do so down below. Hit the notification so you get our videos. They come out twice a week now. So we do our main videos on Fridays, and we do our Tales from the Road videos now we're going to move into Tuesdays.
We're going to try Tuesday.
We're going to try Tuesday.
Let us know when you guys are watching the videos.
Yeah, we're kind of curious.
We'll put them then.
But Tuesday, I think we're going to switch them too. And so we're going to have those come out then. And then if you haven't done so, please leave a comment too. We'd love to hear your comments on these things. So so thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon. And we got to do our shot. Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay. What was this time?
I don't know.
Wasn't that bad. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep the shiny side up. We'll see you on the next video.